Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the tundra that is this podcast. My name is Tristan Sartoris. This is Full Circus. I'm happy to be here with you guys today. Yes, there's a second camera. I'm trying to stay moving. I'm trying to stay warm so my hands don't seize up, but we are in hell.
We're in hell right now, gentlemen.
Oh my gosh, dude. I just saw Sid and Manny from Ice Age. They were putting on coats. It's that chilly.
Why?
I'm trying to keep on keeping on, all right? I am, but people tell me this happens, and I don't really have a way to argue with that because it's happening to me, so I guess it does.
Let's go.
But it's freezing. It is my ultimate weakness, and I am in absolute peril and danger. This is supposed to be a fun podcast, but don't get it twisted with WKO 107.9. Oh, avalanche. That's what it feels like. We are trapped under ice. I'm going to rewrite the song. Baby, it's cold outside, too. Baby, it's warm anywhere but here. I really can't stay. Baby, we have to get out of here. This evening has been so terrible. But yeah, guys, I'm happy to be here with you. If you can see my breath, I apologize. Hopefully it adds to the experience. This is weird. I don't know, when to switch and what I'm supposed to do. But hopefully it's all going to come together nicely. I looked at the camera. I didn't do it. But hopefully it all works out as ingenious as I hope it will be. So how are you guys doing? It is the official second Friday of January, which means, theoretically, that everybody's New Year's resolutions should be in the toilet. Whatever dreams and aspirations and things you set out for yourself, it should be over with, because that's really what we have. 2 weeks, 8 days, whatever it is, before we crumble and we fail. And that's sad, but it's real life. However, I will say, man, I've been really proud of the people. I've been seeing a lot of people jogging in the cold. They've been running. They've been out. They've been getting their exercise. People are trying to make a difference this year. I feel like something's in the air. Everyone says 2022, 2023, 2024, these are all my year. It's going to be my year, but 2025 just actually might be your year. Okay, if you set out to make these things, there's some potential. I don't know exactly when people are going to quit. It's supposed to, science says you guys should all be done for, but you haven't. You haven't quit, and I'm proud of you. However, I am a little upset. Okay, I will say this. People have been so dedicated. I've been waiting for these New Year's resolutions to fall off, but nay, they've been quite well. And this is where it bothers me. I go into the grocery store, and all the things that I want to go buy are no longer there. They're sold out of cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, chicken breast, all lean meats, even the broccoli. I don't even like to get broccoli, but I thought, hey, Hail Mary, I'll try it. And we're sold out. You guys are so dedicated that I can't get any of my regular items. It's not like that I'm that healthy of an eater, but I like to buy it so people judge me less when I unload all of my Lunchables and Sour Patches on the checkout. But I'm proud of you guys in that sense, because I'm suffering, so that means somebody else out there is doing all that. Pumpernickel, wheat bread, all of it. All the good things, they're being consumed or at least purchased, and I hope you guys are doing well. And whatever your mission is, maybe it's to eat right. Maybe it's to train. People have been in the gym constantly, too. People have been outside. I don't know how to gauge whether or not you're successful in your career. Are stocks up? I don't know. But if they are, congratulations. And I hope it's going just swimmingly. And I'm really impressed, and I'm proud of you guys. Okay. And I'm proud of me too, I guess. I'm cold. I don't know how to feel about life. Life is just a big igloo. It's a big snow globe, and people keep shaking it up. I say, stop! I don't want it to snow anymore. Stop the ice. Little. And I'm dying. But we're trying to press on. I didn't switch back. We're trying to press on. We're trying to have a good time here. What's going on in my life, most notably, dude, let me say this, all right? I love grandparents, okay? All grandparents. My grandparents, your grandparents, anyone's grandparents. Didn't switch it. Anyone's grandparents. And I've been having a great time, dude. And this is something I noticed a lot more when I started doing voiceover full time, that as you can leave and run an errand in the middle of the day, it's mostly, the elderly. They're out and about, and you bump into them, and they're just the best people, dude. They're the best. And you know why? They have so many stories to tell. They have so much wisdom and so many jokes, and they just want to talk, dude, and nobody indulges them, so I can relate. And I'm like, oh, you want to talk? I want to talk. I'm about to twist the cap off, and we get to talking. But it's been so nice, dude. I ran into a couple recently, and just in the middle of the store out for no reason, and she was just kind of chatty. This old grandma, and I start talking to him, and she's just the sweetest, man. And they're both just bestowing just these funny stories and wisdom. We talk about life and love and spirituality and morality and other realities, and it's fun and it's nice. And she's just about pinched my cheeks. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I get it, like I'm adorable, but I love just how nice they are. She's throwing cookie recipes at me, man. It's so nice. And if you want to get on a grandfather side, let me tell you, if you want to really crack the door open, you complain about anything, and immediately they're thrilled to just be, oh yeah, dude. I was with that same couple. I was just trying to get some Sour Patch Kids, and I complained. I said something about like the fluorescent lighting. I don't even know what it was, but immediately like that, he's like, this guy gets it. And we had a complaint off. We're talking about the price tags in the organization. We're just complaining. I love the elderly, man. They're so great, and nobody's there. Like, imagine you collected all this wisdom and all this knowledge, all these things to share, and immediately no one's knocking at your door to say anything anymore. I love it so much. It's why I was a terrible life insurance salesman, because I'd get into these houses with people, and immediately I'm just chopping it up. We're having fun going back and forth. We're hanging out. At one point, the lady brought out brownies, and I was like, I forgot I didn't sell anything. I just walked out the door. I was like, that was a nice hang. I just like talking to them. They have so much to say, and we need more conversations with all the grandparents. It's so nice. Just so sweet. They're so great, and they're so funny, and I've been very happy anytime you can run into them. And I ran into another lady actually right before I got here. I was returning something, and she's right behind me, and she starts talking about how she's been getting all this free stuff. Okay, the Lord must love her. But she refuses to take it. Every time she's like chatting with people, she gets free pens and these free stickers and Band-Aids and cookie sheets and all kinds of stuff. And she's like, I have to go back. They forgot to charge me for this. And I go, what are you, a saint? And she's like, I cannot live with myself if I don't go back and pay. This is $18.99. And I go, ma'am, I'll pay $9.99. Just have your free band. Maybe if it keeps happening. It's like, maybe if it keeps happening, someone's trying to, hey, you know what? You've been a good person. That's the reward. It's like, wow, I can't wait till I get to heaven. Streets paved with gold, and however grandiose and beautiful life's going to be. And the Lord's like, you know what? Free cookie sheet. And I was trying to tell her, I was like, hey, maybe it's happening for a reason. But she's like, no. If I start stealing and everyone starts stealing, I won't let this happen, because it's only going to hurt us. It's going to hurt everyone else, and I won't let it be. And I will, ma'am, you're a beautiful soul. And she just talked and talked and talked, and I had a great time. I don't know when I'm supposed to switch to that camera. Like, maybe I'm supposed to have a joke locked and ready, and then you're like, well, there's no way he's going to, yeah, oh, wait, he did it, and then we'll do it. But it's been really great. Get out there, talk to the grandparents, see what they have to say, because they got more than you know. However, okay, I did run into a very interesting older lady quite recently. All right. Now, I like to go and find interesting stories. Okay. And there's only one place you can find interesting stories. You have to go to the land of interesting people. So I have a tale from the dollar store. So I pop in here like I normally do. See what's up. I'm scoping. I'm trying to find what's up, because there's always something there, man. Somebody's doing something. Somebody's stealing. Somebody's washing their hair in the aisle. Somebody's not wearing shoes. They're throwing stuff. It's crazy. It's pandemonium. And I walk in there. It's pretty routine. Just normal. People shopping. Just buying stuff. I was bewildered. I was baffled. Surely this can't be the case. So I get my stuff and I go up to the register. And immediately, this nice old lady, very nice. I've talked to her plenty of times. We're checking out. She goes, you remind me of somebody. Now, typically when someone says this, I get Andrew Garfield or Flynn Rider. I think it's just because of the hair and the eyebrows. And I go, yeah, I know. And she goes, you remind me of this guy I hooked up recently. And I go, yeah. What? Now, look, I love to talk to people, but this was a bit more uncomfortable than I would have liked. This was not a conversation I wanted to partake in. And I was... I didn't know what to say. And she was like, yeah, he was a real wild boy and looked just like you. Now, if you know me, I always have something to say, all right? But I was lost. Nothing was coming to my... I was like, nose goes. It wasn't me. Like, I didn't know what to say. I was so taken aback. And she starts to continue and tells me, obviously it wasn't me, but I did not want to hear about this old lady's sex life whatsoever. And she continues that, yeah, he was just a real problem, you have that look, but he was something else, it's very aggressive and rude, and we really had it out, and it became horrible. And obviously, I didn't want to be a part of this. I wanted no part of this story. It was already so awkward from Jump Street. She opened up with that. So just, she's 65, 70. I have no idea. She's like, you remind me of this guy I hooked up with. Don't say that. What? So I didn't want any part of the story, but she looked sad the way she said it didn't end well, and I went, and I felt the words forming on my lips, man. And I was like, no. And I couldn't help myself. And I said, I'm sorry. What happened? Like I had got good guy Tourette's or something. And I indulged in this. And then she continued on. And I admit I wasn't really listening thoroughly. I was just watching her scan the things. Boop. Boop, and just continue on with this deep story. And I was like, I picked a wrong day to load up on Sour Patch Kids, and let me tell you. And she's going through it. The gist of it, I guess, was that he was very aggressive, and she got back at him he had like an old beater. She didn't quite carve her name into his leather seats, but she did do something to his truck. I don't remember the details, but I remember that as I was leaving, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you're okay. And I'm walking out the door, bing, 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 and I was like, hey, you have a good day. And she's like, hey, but I got the last laugh. I go, okay, right. I'm sorry that he was so terrible to you. And she goes, it's all right. And then she's still talking, and I'm looking at everybody else that they're by the way, they're waiting in line this whole time, and they're going, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, she yells back. She's like, those are the best ones. Amen. I ran to my car and cried. So I don't know what that experience was. So I take back everything I said about indulging in the elderly, because that was horrendously awkward. Just immediately beat. Hey, I got some stuff. You remind me of somebody I slept with. Okay, well, I'll tell you all about it. Please don't. Oh, you look sad. Tell me about it. He did this, he did that. I'm sorry, guys, we gotta go. You have a great day. I'm sorry that he was so wild. She goes, hey, he was great, though. I go, stop talking. So it was pretty awkward, man. It was pretty awkward. I did not have all of my responses, all my quick wit. It was out the door. And we managed as best as we could, but be careful when you go into the dollar store. That's the kind of stuff you get. And I was thrilled to be in the weirdness, but I was not happy to be at the center of it, at least off the guy. I didn't know what she meant. And it was just weird, man. Sorry, it's cold. It's just weird, dude. And things are weird, and people bring up weird things, and you don't know how to weird them. But it's cool, I guess. I don't know. It was better than this, dude. I'm losing this, man. If you ask me to shake my hand, I just go. Dude, I wrote on my little script here thing. I wrote 212121. That was me switching back and forth. So I was like, man, what is 2121? Anyways, yeah, I hope everything's going well with you guys in your careers and your journeys and what have you. This is probably going to be a little bit of a colder episode. It's going to be a bit of a shorter episode because I got to get out. I have to leave, man. I have to go find a sauna. And oh, dude, I saw all the freaking fires in California. That's crazy. I don't have a joke about that, but I will admit when I first saw it, I went, But it's crazy, dude. I mean, it's like out of a horror movie. So absolutely praying for anybody who's trying to survive that, man. As much as I want to be warm, I would not like to be anywhere near that. I don't. It's such a dry climate, I guess. I don't know the science behind any of it, but it's horrible to watch that continue to go down and people just lose so much. I'm trying to find a headline real quick that I can give you something fake about. Lead and cadmium found in muscle building protein powders, report says 1 minute ago. Should we read it? Perhaps. You know what? No. I'm just going to be thrilled with that, and I'm just going to tell people that already. There's lead in muscle building. There's lead in protein powder. No wonder I'm getting jacked. But anyways, before we go, I want to... Oh, I did see another headline, and I don't know. There was nothing more to read about it, but this is the news, where I will theorize on what it means, I guess. A study... Oh, man. My body's shutting down. I can't see. I'm cold, guys. But we know that. So I saw a headline. It said, half of men believe that in an emergency, they could... Well, my second camera's about to die. Guys, goodbye. In an emergency, half of men believe that they could land an airplane, which everyone thought was ridiculous. However, the other half know they can. But it didn't say anything about women. I guess women were just like, I don't believe that I can do someone else's job that they've trained for. But half of men believe that they're the guy, that they're the dude, they're the hero of the story. If something goes down, they're dropping, I got this, and they're gonna get up and land a plane, dude. I wish I could say I wasn't one of them, but I am, and I think that's the reason that I wouldn't be able to, because I think anybody who believes they can land a plane just willy-nilly, it can't. Confidence is great to have in all things, I believe. However, guys, don't worry, I got this. Now's not the time to be a big shot and talk the talk. You got to fly the fly, and I would not be able to do that. But I'm curious about the other half of men who say, no, I couldn't land a plane. People train hours and years and whatever. You got to work up to this. You got to have a nice, big, fat stash. Be an old man, wear some New Balances, a nice suit. You get your wings. Everything that goes into being a pilot. And I'm curious what they would really do. I think everybody who believes they could would not. But people who say they can't, can they? This is a theory that I need to have. And I don't know why I theorize that. I think maybe there's some sort of humbleness. I feel like there should be secretly, I don't know if you could do this, but if you could secretly keep a spare pilot on board, on all planes, and maybe that's a nice casual, just comfy job. You're like, just in case if something goes down, we need to pilot this plane. I'll do it. And I think that'd be great, as well as doctors. It's gotta cost a pretty penny. There's a lot of flights out there, but if they could just for once, is there a doctor on board? Just pay a doctor or a student, somebody. There's got to be a solution to this. There should always be a doctor in every restaurant and on every flight, in every situation. I need there to be, if I'm in a pet store and I start choking, is there a doctor? I would like there to be a doctor. There needs to be more doctors. And that's all I'll say about that. However, if such an emergency arose and they said, is there a doctor on board? Half of men do not believe that they could save a life. They go, he's out of luck. I don't know. Question for you though. Do you think you could land a plane in an emergency? I have to believe so, and I guess because I said I wouldn't, that means I don't believe it, but I guess it's a bit of a catch-22, because anyone who thinks says that they can't means they can't, but if they say they can't, then they will, then maybe they will, but they won't. Who's to say? Camera number 2, what do you think? I don't know. I feel like I'd figure it out. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, there's some buttons. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be pretty. Yeah, they trained. Yeah, they did all the things, and it's going to be a smooth landing, but I'll get you on the ground. Also, it didn't say where you the land. I'll spot a pond, a water. I'll find a backyard pool. It did not say, I'm not saying everyone's going to make it, but I think I could land a plane. How hard, how fast, who's to say? But I think I could how hard is it? You know, you push some buttons, you're like, well, there goes engine 2. I put it back on, engine 2's back online. How simple. So I have to believe that I could make that happen. And quite honestly, I want the shot. And there's no way for me to prove that. I guess they have those flight simulators. I don't know how real those are. But I would like, you know, if there's a pilot out there who is willing to give me the reins for just a minute, let me land a plane. Completely untrained. I want nothing, no knowledge, no heads up. You just go, uh-oh, and you pretend to sleep. I will crash a kid's birthday party for sure. But I would like to believe I could. And I will stand on that hill until the day I die, which might be me pretending to land a plane. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't even high five you. I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your New Year's. Look, this is just a casual conversation. I have fun doing this. I mean, not right now. I hate it because I'm cold. I have fun being here. I don't like being here. But yeah, dude, I often, especially right after the New Year's and right after your birthday and everything's coming again, I was like, how, like, you know, that thought always pops up and I go, how long am I going to do this podcast? What is it for? But it's genuinely such a, you know, when things are going wrong in life and you don't know where you're going and you have no heat and you think, what's I need something. This has been a wonderful thing because, I mean, it's been freaking 4 years now. There's been plenty of ups and downs and ebbs and flows. And I highly recommend doing, like, this isn't a, you know, like this, again, I've mentioned this 1,000 times. The show is never, it's not structured. It's not built for success. There's zero algorithm built to tailored an audience. It is just complete and utter ramblings. However, I think if you do anything, like the reason I started is I just needed a place to perform. Like you're auditioning constantly, you don't know when you're getting things, and just gave me a place to, all right, I know I'm doing something. And then you have all these ups and downs. If you give yourself just something to do and this one little thing to kind of hold on to and look forward to each week, it's been monumental. So sometimes when life's going really great, and the podcast can be hard to fit in, I go, well, how long am I going to do this podcast? You know, it's just for me anyway, so why wouldn't it matter if I just skip a week? But it is, I think, very important to set up anything that you can just latch on to, because the podcast was there for me. It's always been there for me, and it will always be there for it. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one, because we will keep going, and there probably won't be heat in the next one. There probably won't be heat ever. And if eventually the podcast ends, that means I froze to death or tried to land a plane. But guys, thank you so much. I will see you. The camera's about to freeze. I'll see you in the next one. I don't know if I usually walk off here. That's what I used to do back in the clubs. Like, all right, guys, see you. And I just leave. So I guess that's what we're doing now. It's a bit of a throwback.